Hello there, whippersnappers, and welcome to Croup Manor. This is the training yard where we assess whether or not Wastelanders have the potential to become Minutemen. As we work our way through here, you may notice some interesting names. We'll expand on that in the Real Talk section, but for now, enjoy the tour. Okay, so I think we're going to try and experience things much the same as a new recruit would, so we'll just open up these big gates. But for now I think we'll skip past this intriguing looking driveway right here. Yeah, head around the edges. Do things the proper way. So it looks like over here we've got one of our Minutemen. This is Grace. She's kind of general maintenance, currently tending to these plants. But she also just maintains all of the general apparatus around the place.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
Yeah, busy hands. So yeah, we don't have any new recruits in at the moment, but these Minutemen have kindly offered to just come and demonstrate all their roles so we can have a look around. So, we'll be heading in here in a moment, but I think we'll just take in the scenery. It's quite nice out here, really. Abe is taking care of all the baddies. Right, let's head in here.
Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
You're not thinking of going for a swim, are you?
First up, you'll meet Nick, and he's sort of our greeter slash admin. Very popular, very friendly chap.
Another day of hard work. It never changes.
Oh yeah, he's getting a bit bored because we've got no one in at the moment. He just loves the drama and the gossip, as you can see from his choice of reading material over here.
I've seen maps that show other countries across the ocean. I wonder if they're any better off than we are.
How profound, thanks for that, Preston. Okay, onwards. So, out the back here we have Lance, and he really does look after the new recruits. He's a very talented Minuteman, but unfortunately he took an injury, laser to the ear, so he's had to retire from active duty. So this is where we dish out all of the equipment.
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to spy on me.
Of course, pistols get checked out and checked back in again. All their uniforms, ammo, anything they'll need for their stay here. And then, heading up this way, we'll find our mess hall. It's very well stocked, but fairly basic. Hasn't got a lot of charm, has it? Someone that has got a lot of charm is our chef over here, and he's just known as Grandpa.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
That's a bit of a nickname that's stuck. He was delighting a batch of new recruits with all sorts of wonderful stories, and one of them named him Grandpa, and it stuck. I think it helps that he's always cooking them all these delicious meals, and absolutely no bloatfly on the menu here. Plenty of fresh fish, because we are by the coast. Oh, after you, Grace. Busy.
Easy living, this ain't.
No way to know what might be.
Okay, and then top floor, this is just our accommodation for the newbies. I hesitate to call them Minutemen because not all of them make the cut, unfortunately. Although we can distribute any failures out just to work in our settlements. We always need bartenders and shopkeepers and the like, so it's not all bad. We're not trying to be too cruel or torturous here, so they've got a nice bit of a chill out zone as well. Open air bench with some lovely views.
Is this a better time for that talk?
No, Preston, it's not, thank you. And then in here they've got a bit of a conservatory, again, lovely views of the coast, and then sort of all sorts of stress relieving items for them, so they can come up here and try and relax a little bit. Nick's making the most of it today. Okay, we can have a little sneak peek in here, but we're not going to go through the manor until dark, because that's how the recruits would have to do it. But they are allowed access to this room.
At least it's not raining.
They can use the treadmill if they like. They can also use that to warm up before their run through the manor. When they're ready to actually start, they can hit that floor buzzer down there. That's when the clock will start ticking. Yeah, their run here will be timed and assessed. Their decision making and everything like that will also be
I've
assessed.
seen maps that show other countries across the ocean. I wonder if they're any better off than we are.
He's really enjoying that thought process today, isn't he? Old Preston. And I can try and get a sneaky peek down here, but it doesn't give very much away. They can see that their first task is going to be to get this door open. But that's as much of a hint as they're allowed.
Is this a better time for that talk?
Still no, Preston. Such a lack of awareness. Right. Yeah, I think now we will go and take a look around the assault course. We'll just sneak up these stairs here. Because, first of all, we do need to meet Tango.
Huh?
He's the all-time speed record holder for this course. And so now he times and judges all of the newbies. As yet, his record is completely unbroken. Nobody's come close. Okay, let's give this a try, shall we? Now I have to say that Abe's nursing a bit of an injury, so he won't be able to do everything, but we'll do our best. So we've got hurdles first of all. And then monkey bars. And then this one's a bit of a clamber up and over. Wibbly wobbly. Okay, and then they must stay behind this barricade. Shoot the targets in order as fast as they can. In order to get this door open. And then it's under here on your belly. And then you're going to want to stand up fairly quickly and avoid these spikes here. Of course we had to have a tire run. And climbing wall, maybe I could just light this so we can see the ropes. Oh no, I don't want to go back to the start. We'll go around this way. Abe's not up to climbing today, sorry. Yeah, up and over there and down into the mud pit on the other side. And then sprint up here. And Tango will stop the timer and tell you how you've done.
Yes?
Yes, speed is of the essence here. Not the largest course in the world, but it's all about how quickly they can complete it. Right, hop down. Oh, I guess while we're out here we could take a look at the facilities as well, that's important. Any particularly bad behaviour and they'll find themselves sleeping under the stars for the night out here. They've got somewhere they can have a wash. Don't want to be stinking out the barracks, do we? Not the nicest toilets, but at least they drain away fairly hygienically. Yes, and don't forget to wash your hands. We'll meet these guys a bit later. We might as well have a quick look on the roof as well. Yeah, this is off limits to all but the Minuteman staff here, really.
You're not thinking of going for a swim, are you?
Somewhere they can get some peace and quiet. Now, they don't tend to live on site all of the time. There are a few decent houses around here which they've been fixing up so they can live in a bit more comfort, but they do stay here to supervise the new recruits. So up here is where Lance and Tango would stay. in the generator room. Cozy. Could be worse, couldn't it? Okay, and then we'll zip back down. Okay, I think it really is time we did have a look in the manor now. I'm gonna just magic away a climb up those spinny old stairs because I don't want you getting dizzy. And I'll see you after a nap. There we go. Nice and dark. Perfect conditions for a run through the manor. So yes, generally this is going to be a test of their kind of awareness and perception, and I suppose just overall like a bit of a stupidity test.
I've seen maps that show other countries across the
So
ocean.
they would ideally avoid the laser tripwire, which is there quite obviously. But when they trigger that, they'll get hit by paintballs. Nice bit of a distraction down here as well. But a very handily labelled trigger target switch here, and all they have to do is be very careful with their aim because there's a lot of flammable items in this room.
No way to know what might
So that's got the door open. And as you can see here, this is not a very well disguised trap. You're really going to have to be doing this with your eyes closed to miss it. And it has been slightly blunted just so it's non-lethal as well. Okay, so they'll have been briefed before they come down here that they need to rescue a settler in need.
No way to know what might be hiding under
And they can
the water.
disable these mannequins however they please. We're not going to damage them today because, you know, resources and all that. But yes, they can pick up this poor damsel in distress. And she's going to accompany them for the rest of their run. Hopefully if they triggered that the first time, they'll learn to go round it this time. What's in here? Just more creepiness. Nothing of use. And once again, they're going to want to take this guy out, and we're not going to damage him. For this next part, they'll be judged on who or what they decide to shoot or knock down. It's up to them, they just have to explain themselves why they made the decisions they made.
I prefer to stick to dry land, if it's all the same to you.
Down in here, goodness me, what's all this? Quite a lot to take in.
You're not thinking of going for a swim.
First off, we've got a bit of a look before you leap warning. So you might not want to follow this big bright arrow here because that's not going to be fun to jump down into. So that's clearly not the way out.
I've seen maps that show other countries across the ocean. I wonder if they're any better off than we are.
Everything looks to be boarded up and secure. So how do they escape? Well, this looks like it could be some kind of electrical door. And seeing as how many switches there are around this place, that's probably the best bet for escaping. So I guess it's time we flip some switches. Where to start? This'll do. Well, that's more paintballs.
I prefer to stick to dry land, if it's all the same to you.
Clearly not that one either. What about over here? Oh no, that's the worst one yet. Alright, what about this one? That appears to just be an annoying noise.
You're not thinking of going for a swim, are you?
One left. Well, it's not that one either. Oh no. How do we get out? Is there anything we've missed? We did say awareness, stupidity, perception. I think we got all the switches though, didn't we? Right, let's lose some of these perils and irritating noises. And if we'd just looked a bit more carefully around this corner, we'd have found this switch. Oh, there's my customary get stuck moment. And we're free. Yay.
Farming's as honest work gets.
You're greeted at the bottom by GT here, as she's
Get
known.
back to Diamond City one of these days. Biggest town I ever saw.
Yes, her full name is Gertie
Crop's coming
Tinkleton.
pretty good.
So, she prefers to go by GT. Yeah, she's very musical, and we can often hear her
Got a dangerous look
humming a
about
little
you.
tune in the background.
You ain't here for me.
I don't know where our doctor's gone, but it looks like Tango maybe has a boo-boo.
Place is run by robots.
Is
Yeah.
this a better time for that talk?
Still no, Preston. Ah, okay, so this is Nellie. She also works on maintenance, along with Grace. They actually do stay here. We'll just go in here and take another little nap, so we've got some daylight again. And then we'll take a look at it properly. Oh, whoops. Okay, so this is where Grace and Nellie do live all of the time. Because if they're on maintenance, you never know when anything could break or need tending to. Nellie also is brilliant with her chemicals, so she keeps our Dr. Freya really well stocked with stim packs and medical supplies. Yeah, it's nice neat little cabin, but fairly basic. Mostly outdoors cooking. Yeah, Nellie kind of took over the kitchen with her work, so cooking over the fire. Yeah, so I think Dr. Freya is the only one we haven't managed to meet yet, so we'll just go and say a quick hello. I did hear from Nick that there might be something going on between Freya and Nellie, actually.
If you work, you eat. It's simple as that.
I can patch you up if you need it. For a small fee, of course.
All good, thank you. Yeah, Freya, unfortunately, she got some quite nasty burns when she was younger, so she prefers to keep herself covered up. I think that inspired her to go into the medical field. Nah, not quite so imposing in daylight, is it?
Is this a better time for that talk?
Nope. Nope. Run away. Run away. Okay, I think we've had the full new Minuteman experience here. But yeah, if anyone's successful here, they can proceed on to the church, and then from there, potentially, they'll get their place in the castle. But this is where we try and find out whether they've got the potential to become a Minuteman or not. Okay, real talk time once again. So I think we'll start off out here with all these contraptions. I don't think there's anything terribly complicated, just things that were really terribly fiddly. So inside these concrete walls we've got a whole load of conduits. They were lined up on the solid wall just behind there. And then picked up with a pillar and mooshed inside these concrete walls. And then the local area has been completely cleaned out of every single tyre. There's rubber mats sunk in just underneath these because they seem to sink halfway into the driveway, so that just keeps them all at ground level, and then hitching posts to keep them from going everywhere. This of course is not complicated at all. I just found that that puddle would just superimpose onto whatever you place, so why not make a mud pit? And more hitching posts for the monkey bars, and conduit pipes. And then a whole lot more conduit pipes. Again, not overly complicated, just incredibly fiddly to try and line that all up. And then these switches have all been Wi-Fi glitched, sort of chain Wi-Fi glitched, I suppose, so you have to activate one to activate the next, and so on. And they're all running off that little conduit sunk into the wall up there. Okay, and we did say we'd go through all these names, didn't we? So I think we'll just head back up and revisit Tango, who is of course named after the wonderful Tango and Caps. Very talented, very speedy builder.
Yeah.
Yes, there'll be a lot of links to various people in the description below if you'd like to investigate. And next up, we've got Nick, named for Unky Nick, another very, very talented YouTuber, brilliant storyteller, and a lover of drama.
Huh?
And of course, Lance here is named after Lancelot, or Grandpa Lancer.
My back hurts, my feet hurt. Everything hurts.
Oh, that seems fairly appropriate. Oh dear.
I've seen maps that show other countries.
And then Grandpa in the corner
Huh?
for Great Grandpa Gamer. Again, another brilliant, brilliant builder and storyteller. After you, Preston. Don't try and talk to me again.
You hear about that found
Yes,
on my tools?
when I started building here,
That's
I
something.
had only just really started out on YouTube. It was these fine folks that were just so welcoming and so supportive. I thought I would be either talking to nobody or getting laughed off the internet. I couldn't have been more wrong, so yeah, thank you. I'm just going to put Abe on the treadmill. I have of course got a video of how this was made. I just really like watching him plop off the end of the treadmill. Plop! Okay. So really I was just having a bit of a play here, testing out all of these bits and pieces that I just don't really find much purpose for anywhere else. I just wanted to have a bit of fun. This creepy old manor seemed to lend itself to this sort of weirdness. There's a lot of completely pointless wires down here, just trying to make it look a bit confusing and make it hard to trace things back to the switch that opens the door. All of this stuff just run off this little generator with a standard wire glitch to get it through the wall. Not overly complicated, just a bit of fun really. Yeah, there's going to need to be quite a few repairs made in here now, isn't there? Okay, so our next character was GT, and she's named for the wonderful Game Town walkthrough.
Don't care much for Good Neighbor. That place is nothing but trouble.
She does some brilliant streams. Highly recommend those.
If you need fixing up, let's get a look.
And again, bit of pillar work out here just to sink this all nicely into the cliffs.
If it's all the same to you.
Just sinking these things down, lifting up lanterns onto posts, that sort of thing. Again, not overly complicated. Not sure really how realistic it is to have these rocks poking through wood floors, but never mind. Maybe they cut all the planks perfectly to size. Yeah, I think we've there's not really much else of note here in terms of building work. There's a novel way here of dealing with the never-ending ghoul corpses. I haven't got the patience to run them miles and miles and miles away. Alright, so before we finish up, I just wanted to point out the fact that since I built this, a few more of you have come along, and I just wanted to say that I do appreciate every one of you. I'm so grateful for all of your support and your kind comments and the entertainment I get from a lot of your videos as well. Now there's too many of you to tag all at once, but if you do have videos of your own then feel free to say so in the comments, and then if anyone's looking for more Fallout content then have a browse. This community is just so wonderful, and you've turned what I thought was a daunting and perhaps slightly stupid idea into an absolute joy. So thank you all for that. Alright, I think that's enough of my mushy old waffling for one day. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a thumb-based opinion with the relevant buttons below. Subscribe while you're at it if this is your kind of nonsense. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and goodbye from the training yard. Bye bye.